Welcome everyone. My name is Eliza. I'll be here to guide you through the 75-minute Yin and Nidra. Today we're working on back bending, so opening into the upper body, the heart space, front and back. What you're going to need for class today, a bolster. If you have one at home, a bolster will work really well for you today. Otherwise, your bed pillows work pretty well. Grab 2 of those at least. And blocks. If you don't have blocks at home, books work really well, Tupperwares work really well with a lid on, so anything that will really hold the weight of your body. And I suggest grabbing a blanket because that's always just an extra nice prop to have. So we're going to start today in a chest opener, laying on your bolster. So I recommend maybe grabbing your blocks, popping them underneath your bolster so you've got a little bit of extra height. Come to sit with the base of your spine at your bolster, legs extended, and coming to lay down, resting the back of your head and allowing your arms to rest either side of your body. So take your time to set your pose up, checking in that you feel supported, that you feel comfortable. And a gentle reminder that everything I say today is a suggestion. So feel free to move your body in a way that feels good for you. If you feel at any point that you'd like to adjust the pose to suit your body, feel free to do that. So simply taking this moment to bring yourself into your space, bring your awareness into your space. As you notice the space that your body is taking up on your mat in the room. I recommend, and it is only a recommendation, that you try to keep your gaze soft, your eyes closed throughout the practice today. This way helping you to really connect with your internal environment. Noticing how the quality of the air in the room feels on your skin. Notice how your physical body feels today. And finally, notice your breath. In your own time, take a deep inhale in through your nose. Keep inhaling, allow your belly to rise. And a long, slow sigh out your mouth. Allow your belly to fall. Feel free to take one more breath just like that. And with your exhale, allow your body to be as heavy as possible. And take some time now to set an intention or a sankalpa for your practice today. Trying to keep this intention brief, positive, and in the present tense, as if it's already happened. When you're ready, mentally state your intention to yourself. Slowly, slowly bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet onto your mat. Bring your hands either side of you onto the floor and slowly press yourself up, come up to sit. Coming to sit with the soles of your feet together. Now you might notice that when you sit in this way, it might feel that you're falling backwards, or you might not be sitting on your sit bones. You might want to take a seat on a sponge block, or if you're at home, maybe a book or a pillow, to find a tilt of your pelvis. Setting up for butterfly pose, bring your blocks underneath your knees to support your legs. And you can bring your heels as far away from your seats as you would like. So the space can be as wide or as narrow as you would like it to be. Your bolster comes in front of you. Maybe rest it on the floor or rest your bolster on your feet, depending on where you are today. If you're using pillows at home, I recommend folding them in half, one on top of the other, to create a little pillow. A little pillar. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Roll your spine forward and allow your forehead to rest on your bolster. So finding your version of butterfly pose, and perhaps rest your arms on the inside of your legs, your palms face up in a gesture of surrender. By resting your arms on the inside of your legs, you start to find that opening into your upper back. And wherever you are in butterfly pose, take another deep inhale. You might notice that your body rises up a little bit. And give yourself that long, slow sigh out your mouth as you allow your body to get a little bit heavier. You don't have to hold yourself up. Bringing your attention to your forehead and how it makes contact with your support. Noticing if you can allow your head to be a little bit heavier on your support. Finding some softness in your jaw as you allow your tongue to fall away from your palate. Send your attention to the back of your neck. And down into the space in between your shoulder blades. Can you breathe some space into the back of your heart space, the part in between your shoulder blades? If you find that your props are stopping you from moving deeper into your pose, very slowly, very mindfully shift them, but keep the support. Allow your attention to travel down your spine. And into your lower back. Through your lower back to your belly button. As you watch your breath rise and fall at your belly button. Try to find some softness in your hands. Notice if you're gripping. Sending your attention through your hips as you allow your hips to be heavy, your knees are heavy. Simply let yourself be. Start by bringing your hands onto the floor or the mat. Press hands into the mat. Use your arms, your hands to support you to come up to sit. Your head comes up last. Place your bolster to the left side of your mat. Bring hands to the outside of the knees. Gently press your knees together. Remove all your props from your mat. Cross at your ankles. Roll over your knees and come to lay on your belly. Take your time, move slowly, move mindfully. Perhaps create a pillow with your hands, rest your forehead on the back of your hands, and allow your heels to kind of flop wherever they land. Keeping your attention here on the mat. This is what's referred to as a rebound pose. And it's here that your body starts to absorb your practice. It starts to take it in. In each yin yoga posture, we create stress on the joints and the ligaments, connective tissue. And in the rebound pose, your body allows this stress to release. Try to allow your body to be here in stillness. Nothing else for you to do. Take your time to reach your right arm out on the floor at shoulder height, your palm face down. So you can choose if you want your right arm to be straight or if you want to find a soft bend in your elbow. Bending in the elbow allows for a slightly more gentle version of this pose. And when you're ready, roll onto your right side. Finding your version of a pec stretch, a pectoral stretch. Bring your bolster in front of you around about your chest so that you can lean on your bolster. Maybe your left foot is behind your right leg for some extra support, sole of the foot on the mat. Find the most stable version of the pose. So checking in for any discomfort around your shoulders. Some mild discomfort in yin is natural. Steer clear of any form of pain or twinging. The bolster is there to hopefully help you feel a little bit more stable and supported. Sometimes it's nice to press the bolster up against your chest for that extra stability. Just keeping it close to your body, allowing your body to kind of lean a little bit, but maybe sending your left leg back in space a little to find the stretch. And breathe into your right shoulder. If you find that your mind is wandering off the mat, then bring your attention back to your breath. Perhaps notice your breath rise and fall at your belly. Start by removing the bolster and come to lay on your belly. Maybe make a pillow with your hands. Maybe allow your arms to rest either side of your body and rest a cheek on the mat. Allowing your heels to flop wherever they land. Mentally scan your left side and then scan your right side. As you check in for any mild differences between the two sides with no need to analyze or judge. And this time, bring your left arm out, shoulder height. If you bent the elbow for your other side, bend the elbow for this side. And when you're ready, roll onto your left side. Bolster comes in front of your chest. Right foot, maybe sole of the foot onto the mat behind your left leg. You might find that one side feels different to the other. This is natural. Try to be gentle with your body. And this time, breathe into your left shoulder. If the right sole of your foot is on the mat, maybe allowing your right leg to come back in space a little to kind of find that balance, allowing you to stay in the pose. Slowly, slowly place your bolster at the top of your mat. Come to lay on your belly. And this time rest your arms either side of your body. Rest a cheek on the mat. Allow your arms to rest. Heels flop to wherever they land. Allow your body to be heavy. And mentally scan your body from the top of your head down to your toes. Checking in for any sensations that might be coming up for you. All right, take your time to prop yourself up onto your elbows and forearms, checking in that your elbows are roughly below your shoulders as we set up for Sphinx Pose. Bring your bolster underneath your upper rib cage. So at home, if you're using pillows, once again, fold the pillows in half to give yourself a little bit of extra height. So maybe press your elbows into your bolster to find some stability in the pose. And you could stay here, your neck engaged, your gaze forward. You could bring a block in front of you and rest your forehead on the block. So finding your version of Sphinx Pose with attention on your lower back. If you find that you want to increase the compression or the sense of pressure in your lower back, you could bring your feet closer together. Or to decrease compression, bring your feet further away. So find the version of the pose that feels right for you. Bending your knees, allowing the soles of your feet to face the ceiling is also another option. So choose the version of the pose that feels best for you today. Can you allow your glutes to separate away from each other? If your feet are resting on the floor, can you find some softness in your inner thighs? If you're resting your head on a prop, notice if you can allow your head to be a little bit heavier. And send a gentle wave of softness down the center line of your body, down to your jaw, as you allow your tongue to fall away from your palate. Down the center of your chest, your sternum. And into your belly button. Watch your breath rise and fall at your belly button. If you raised your legs, lower one leg down at a time. If you're using a block to support your head, remove your block, place it to the side, and roll your bolster out in front of you. Come to lay on your belly. Perhaps rest forehead on the back of the hands or opposite cheek on the mat. Allowing your legs to relax. And with your attention on your lower back, take a deep breath into your lower belly, only as deep as is comfortable for you. Maybe notice some compression or pressure in your lower back. And a long, slow exhale by nose or mouth, your choice. Empty your lungs down to the last pocket of air. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up to tabletop. Your knees are roughly below your hips and your wrists roughly below your shoulders. Bring your bolster or pillows just behind your wrists. All right, as we set up for puppy pose, start by walking your hands forward and rest your chest on your bolster or pillows. Maybe your chin rests on the pillows or bolster too. Maybe your forehead rests on a block. Now you can keep your arms reached out. If this is quite heavy on your shoulders, you could walk your hands away from each other. Or bend your elbows and rest your forehead on the back of your hands. If it feels like you're falling forward, maybe walk your knees a little bit closer. And try to find some softness in your hands. So noticing if you're gripping in your hands. Find some softness in your belly. And perhaps notice that subtle draining sensation from your lower back. So the sensation of pressure being released. So we're said to hold tension in our bodies in very specific places. Around the hands, the feet, the jaw, and the belly. Check in if you are holding any tension around these spaces. And notice if you can find an extra layer of softness. All right, start by propping yourself up onto your elbows. Send your knees as wide as your mat. Your toes maybe come to touch. Bring your bolster or prop to the inside of your legs and sit back down onto your heels for a child's pose. Check in that the full length of your torso is supported by your prop, and maybe rest your right cheek on the bolster. If you find that there's a gap in between your hips and your heels, you could always pop a blanket behind your thighs, or maybe a block behind your thighs for an extra layer of support. Can you allow your hips to be a little bit heavier? Can you find some space in between your shoulder blades? Allow your shoulder blades to separate. Take your time to swap your cheek. And notice how it feels on the side for your neck. You might want to tuck your chin slightly towards your chest to lengthen in the back of your neck. Allow your head to be heavy. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly press yourself up to sit on your heels. Feel free to bring the bolster underneath your seat and sit on the bolster. Rest your hands maybe in your lap for Scissor Pose. If sitting in this way doesn't feel comfortable for you, sit in any way that does. Just taking a moment here to simply notice how you feel as your head is over your heart once more. Try to stay present. Slowly remove your prop from underneath your seat. Extend your legs out in front of you. As we set up for caterpillar pose, you might want to take a seat on a sponge block. This helps to tilt your pelvis forward, helping you to find your sit bones. You could start by simply walking your hips back to find your sit bones. You might also want to pop a blanket underneath your knees for some extra support. This is just a nice way to kind of soften into the backs of your thighs, or rather the backs of your knees. Allow your feet to flop out to the sides and let your feet be about hip width distance or wider. Now you could use your bolster to support your head, or you can use blocks. I'll demonstrate both. So if you're using your bolster comes to an angle, tuck your chin towards your chest and roll your spine forward. Allow your forehead to rest on your bolster. If you'd like to use blocks, you can simply create a T shape with your blocks. Fold forward and allow your forehead to rest on your blocks. Finding the version that feels best for you, that feels the most supportive. Allow your feet to flop out to the sides of your mat. This is caterpillar pose. Check in once again for softness in your hands, softness in your feet. Notice if you're clenching around the backs of your legs, around your hamstrings. Can you find some release? Can you let go a little bit more? Caterpillar pose is a full back body stretch. As I name each part of your body, try to send your attention there. And as you do, notice if you can let go a little bit more. The backs of your heels that make contact with the floor. Your calves. The backs of your knees. Hamstrings, the back of your thighs. Your sit bones and glutes where you find your seat. Your lower back, middle back, and upper back, the space in between your shoulder blades. The base of your skull, the top of your head. And notice if you can allow your forehead to be a little bit heavier. If you find that your props are stopping you from moving deeper into your pose, then slowly, mindfully shift them and keep your support. Try to allow for softness in your hands, avoid any gripping or clenching. And if you find that your mind is wandering off your mat, try to come back to your breath. Simply notice where you feel your breath in your body. Place your hands on your legs And walk your hands up your legs slowly, slowly. Stack one vertebra on top of the other. Your head comes up last. Take your time. This is a deep forward bend. Remove all your props from your mat. And with your hands behind you for support, come to lay down on your back. Try to continue to move slowly. Once you make it down onto your back, take up the full length and the full width of your mat. And feel free to give yourself a little sigh if that feels good for you right now. Find that release. Allow your body to rebound. Nothing for you to do. Try to simply observe the rebound. Slowly, slowly bend your knees. Bring the soles of your feet onto your mat. Come to lay on your left side and prop yourself up onto your left elbow. Bring your bolster in front of you at hip height. And you might want a blanket underneath your head for some head support. So you could place your blanket at the top of your mat. Reach your left arm out in front of you. Come to lay on your left side. Head rests on your blanket. Bring your right knee onto the bolster in front of you. Check in that the full length of the bottom part of your leg is supported by the bolster. So all the way from the knee down to your foot. And if this feels good for you where you are, feel free to stay here. Otherwise, send your right shoulder back in space. Reach your right arm back behind you to find your version of a twist. The top leg is supported. Your bottom leg is straight. Twisting your spine in this way is a lovely way to release tension from your spine. If you're noticing any twinging in your lower back, bring your right knee a little bit closer to your chest. Noticing if you can allow your top leg to be a little bit heavier, you don't have to hold it up. And try to find some softness in your belly. Gentle reminder that if you experience any forms of numbness or tingling, it's your body's cue to do a little bit less of the pose, or to shift your body until that numbness or tingling stops. Soften your jaw. Soften your belly. Soften the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet. Keep your attention on your mat and with your physical body. Perhaps allow your attention to hover at the center of your chest. Very slowly, very mindfully, straighten your top leg. Come to lay on your back. And feel free to rest your bolster or your pillows on your body, anywhere that it feels good for you, maybe across your hips or your chest. Take up the full length and the full width of your mat as you observe the rebound. Place your bolster to your right side. Bend your knees, feet onto your mat as you come to lay on your right side. Reach your right arm out in front of you. Rest your top leg, your left leg on the bolster. Knee is at hip height or higher. And choose the same version of the pose as you did on the other side. So if you stayed side lying, then feel free to stay here or reach your left arm back this time as you find your twist. Allowing your bottom leg, your right leg, to be heavy. Your top leg heavy. Finding some softness around your belly. Softening into your jaw. And allow your left shoulder to be heavy if you've chosen to twist. Where are your thoughts? If they've wandered off the mat, come back to your breath or the center of your chest. Mentally scan through your body from the top of your head down to your toes. And notice if there's any last spaces where you might be holding tension or holding your body up. If you come across a pocket of tension, pause there and use your breath to simply open the space, releasing the tension. Slowly, slowly, straighten your leg, come to lay on your back. And set yourself up for Yoga Nidra. Laying on your back in any way that is comfortable for you. Maybe place a bolster or pillows under your knees. Maybe cover yourself with a blanket. Maybe cover your eyes. Just getting yourself as comfortable as possible. If you're at home, maybe turning the lights down, switching them off. And if you are doing your Yoga Nidra in bed at home, lie down on your bed in an orientation that you don't sleep in. As you get ready for this practice of calming, doing anything you need to get as comfortable as possible. Check for any lumps or bumps of clothing, jewelry, or anything else that might distract you. And feel free to adjust them now Scan through your whole body and make sure that you are as comfortable as possible. Your feet are heavy. Legs and hips heavy. Backs of your arms heavy. Shoulders heavy. Jaw soft. Feel yourself settle in. Your eyes are closed and your body is still. Serene, like a still lake. Bring all of your attention into your practice, setting everything aside for these moments to be calm and connect. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let go of any thoughts you'd like to let go of in this moment. Let go of any thoughts. Let go of any need to do. Just be. This is your time for yourself. No agenda, only peace. Make any final adjustments if you haven't already. Begin to experience stillness even more. Know that you can move at any time. But if it feels good, allow yourself to enjoy this stillness, this chance to do nothing, resting, just as you like. Even your mind can rest now. In its place, there is effortless awareness. Feel everything becoming more and more effortless. Serene and effortless. Yoga Nidra has now begun. I will name a series of energetic points in your body. As I do, allow awareness to float effortlessly from point to point. Start by floating your awareness to the point between your eyebrows. Effortless awareness at the point between your eyebrows. Jaw. Allow your tongue to fall away from your palate. The hollow at the base of your neck that lies in between your collarbones. Right collarbone, right shoulder joint. Move freely to the right elbow joint, wrist joint, right thumb, tip of your index finger, tip of your middle finger, tip of your ring finger, tip of your little finger. Effortless awareness. Right wrist joint, right elbow joint, right shoulder joint, right collarbone, hollow at the base of your neck. Shift awareness over to your left collarbone, left shoulder joint, left elbow joint, left wrist joint, left thumb, tip of your left index finger, tip of your middle finger, tip of your ring finger, tip of your little finger. Shifting freely. Left wrist joint, left elbow joint, left shoulder joint, left collarbone, hollow at the base of your neck. Heart center. Right side of your chest. Heart center. Left side of your chest. Your heart center. Your heart center. Your heart center. Rest your awareness at your heart center, not thinking, just feeling. Become aware of your breath. aware of your body gently moving with each inhale and exhale. Notice on the inhalation that your abdomen gently rises, and then your chest rises. And on your exhalation, your abdomen falls, and your chest falls. Inhale, abdomen rise, chest rise. Exhale, abdomen falls, chest falls. Feel this wave of breath, like a wave washing into the shore, then washing away from the shore. Follow this gentle wave of breath. Each breath, watch the wave rise and watch it fall. No need to make any changes to your breath. Simply watching. Watching the natural wave of breath. Like watching gentle waves on the ocean. Slowly, slowly, start to notice your body lying down. Noticing all the parts of your body that are supported. Perhaps start to deepen your breath as a way to gently welcome yourself back. Try to keep your awareness inside. Maybe find some gentle movements that feel good for you. Keep them small, maybe wiggle your toes, maybe rub each finger over your thumb. Keeping your attention inside, feel free to bend your knees, bring the soles of your feet onto your mat. Maybe reach your arms overhead and give yourself a big stretch. Taking your time to roll over to any side that is comfortable for you. If laying down feels better for you right now, feel free to stay down. And when you're ready, use your top hands to gently press yourself up to sit in any way that feels comfortable for you. Perhaps resting your pillows or bolster on your lap for some extra support. Remembering that staying down is also an option. Try to keep your attention inside just for a few more seconds. Checking in with yourself for one last time, checking in with your breath and your body and your mind. Noticing if anything has shifted, anything has changed for you. If it's comfortable for you, bring your hands to prayer at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And as you bow your head towards your hands, mentally state your intention back to yourself one last time if you made one today. I thank you all for joining me on the mat today. Namaste. So thank you to everyone here in the room. Thank you to everyone who joined at home. I'll see you all very soon.